In a lot of ways, I feel like the Hobbit movies and the Star Wars sequel trilogy kind of fall into the same sort of bucket. There are scenes that are just phenomenal, just amazing scenes. But when those scenes are bad, wow, they're bad. Like really, really bad. So, of course, that means it's very popular for fan edits. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about another Hobbit fan edit, this time by SJC, called The Compromise Cut. Now, as I always say at the beginning of these fan edit reviews, in order to watch these fan edits, you need to own the original form of the movie. That means a Blu ray, a digital copy, whatever. You need to own it in some way, shape, or form to view these. And that's just the way it is. I'll also say that if you have suggestions for me to review a fan edit, that's great. That's awesome. But I gotta be honest with you. I've seen a lot of Hobbit fan edits, and I've seen a lot of Star Wars fan edits. I'm kind of looking for something new. So if you've got something new, hey, let me know. SJC reached out to me on Discord and sent me a link to his website that shows sort of, how you can get the fan edit and some of the changes that were made and kind of his thought process. This is what he says. A main goal was to keep as much focus on Bilbo and the company of Thorin as possible, since the original trilogy slowly pushed them to the sidelines. This edit does not strictly adhere to the Hobbit book storyline, aiming more realistically to be the duology Peter Jackson was initially set to make. SJC says he has taken inspiration from some earlier fan edits, like the Cardinal cut, the Maple Films cut, the M4 cut, and Chris Hartwell's cut. And I think it's really smart to basically outline those and say yes, I took inspiration from those. So that way, when you're watching it, you're not going, well, he just got that idea from them. No, he's flat out telling you, this is where I got these ideas from. He also says this about his edit. Due to my technical incompetence, there are no subtitles, chapters, or alternate audio tracks. Due to how the audio was mixed, the overall volume of the compromise cut is low. I didn't actually notice any issues technically. I mean, I don't use chapters for a fan edit because the whole point is to watch the whole thing. I mean, isn't it? But also the subtitles. I know these movies, and if you're watching a fan edit, that typically means that you've seen the movie before and are pretty familiar with it. So I don't think subtitles are really necessary in this case. And most fan edits that are out there are in stereo only. So I don't think that's a huge deal. And in fact, I didn't notice any volume issues at all. I'll also say that there really aren't any technical issues as far as music, dialogue, anything like that. Now, I mean, this could mean that, I've seen The Hobbit a lot and maybe I found my interest waning just because, man, I've seen these movies a lot. But all I can say is that from my standpoint, I didn't see any issues and I thought it was really well done. Technically, it's great. But let's also be clear here. Because of its length and because of the huge story being told, there's not really the opportunity to really do a transformative edit on what's been done before for The Hobbit. I mean, it's just, the story is what it is. And I think changing it, a huge change, maybe telling things out of order or something, I don't know what you could do to really make it that transformative experience. So all of these are going to be iterations of that original film. And that's fine. Any fan edits are going to be subjective. I mean, there's going to be things that, you wish that they left in. There are going to be things that you wish they'd taken out. And in this case, yeah, there are scenes that I wish he'd taken out. And some that I was like, he cut that out. That's interesting. But the fact is, I enjoyed it for what it was. It's a technically sound fan edit. And I can say that, I mean, for some people, it's going to work really well. For some others, they're going to go, nope, I would take that out. But that's the beauty of fan edits, right? You can try things out, and especially when you're making it more for yourself than anything else, then yeah, I think he did a good job here. You're looking at three movies that, almost 3 hours each, right? And he's cut this down to about 5.5 hours. And while to me, that's still a little long for the amount of plot to me that's important for the story, I think it's still better than watching the originals. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, one of my favorite cuts is taking down the Battle of the Five Armies. Well, the actual battle, not just the movie, but the actual battle. Trimming that some of that stuff out. I mean, it's just none of that is from Tolkien, and it's just let's pad out these movies. You know what I mean? So it was nice to see that a lot of that stuff was trimmed down, and that was good. I also don't think that there's a need for the White Council and the Dol Guldur stuff. I mean, both of those things taken out, so I'm good. But here's the thing: I'm one of those few people, I guess, that I actually like some of the Radagast stuff. So I kind of like that being in there. And with this cut in particular, there are times where he seems to take his time because, like most of us, he loves Middle Earth, right? And he wants to spend more time in Middle Earth. Some of the conversations that are trimmed down in some of the other versions, he lets flow, and I actually enjoyed that. But I kind of miss Radagast. Am I the only one that likes Radagast? I don't know. People always ask, Mr. 42, which one is your favorites? Nobody calls me that. But anyway, they ask me which one's my favorite. Well, here's the thing. I'm huge on Tolkien, as you can see. I mean, right? So I know the books, I know the world, all that kind of stuff. For me, the ones that kind of speak to me the most are the ones that are closest to the book. So M4's edit, Maple Films. Those are probably my two favorites. But that doesn't mean that all these other ones, you can just throw them away and you don't have to worry about them. No, check them out. They might be exactly what you're looking for. So, the compromise cut by SJC for The Hobbit. What do you think about it? I mean, are you going to check it out? I mean, you might as well, right? And if so, what do you think about it? And what are your favorite fan edits? You know, and this doesn't have to be just The Hobbit. I mean, any. What's your favorite? Which are the ones that I should check out? And hopefully some of them aren't The Hobbit or Star Wars because, man, I've seen a lot of those. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.